Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a makeup inventory to round up 2020 and the train wreck that it was and see how it impacted my numbers. So today's video is going to be number based. If you want to see collection videos of each of my products, like my categories, bronzes, blush, highlights, whatever, I will link them down below. I've just finished doing that series on my channel, but anyway, this is purely numbers for those of us who are interested in that. So if you're interested, then just keep watching. I have 34 categories, okay, and I went up in 8 of them, I went down in 19 of them, and I stayed the same in 7. So that sounds really good, doesn't it? But wait, just wait until you actually see what happened to my collection. So for eyebrow pencils, I had 2 in April of 2020 and now I have 1. So I went down 1. My goal is 1, so I have nothing left to use. I'm good to go on that category. And then for eyebrow pomade, I have 1 now and I did have 1 and I stayed the same here. And my goal is 1. So I'm okay on this as well. And then for eyebrow gel, I had 2 in 2020. I had 2 in April and I still have 2. And my goal is 2, so I'm at my goal. I don't need any more. I have a clear one and I have a brownie one. I have a clear one and I have a coloured one. For eyeshadow base and primer, in April of 2020, I had 2 and now I have 5. I've gone up 3 and my goal is to have 2. So now I need to use up 3 to get back down to my goal. My goal is to have just a primer and a glitter glue. I received a few from Elaine and so the only one I purchased 1 and it was a NYX glitter glue because at the time I didn't have any glitter glues, and then I received some from Elaine. So for liquid and gel liner, I had 5 in April, I still have 5 now, so nothing changed there, and my goal is 2, so I need to use up 3. And then for mascaras, I had 4 in April and now I have 3, so I've gone down 1. My goal is to have 2, so what about, I need to use up 2 then. 2, I always only ever use 1 mascara at a time anyway, but I always like to have 1 and then 1 ready to go. For face primers, I had 3, okay, in April and now I have 8. No, you don't need to panic, I have 8, I went up 5, okay. So I bought, for my birthday, I bought, is it 2 or 3 of them? 2 or 3, where is it? It's right here, these, what are they? Oh my god, First Aid Beauty, sorry, I had a brain fart. And I received some as a gift from Ashley. Thank you so much, Ashley. I was really querying the Becca ones and she had some like deluxe samples, is that what you'd call them, and gave them to me, which is really, really nice of her. But anyway, I have 8 now. So my goal is to have 4. Is it what? My goal is to have 4 primers, yeah, because I kind of, at this moment in time, I want a pore filling one, a moisturising one, and a kind of a matte one, something like that. So no more than 5 basically. No more than 4, so I need to use up 4, but I think I'll get through that pretty well. For foundations, I had 4 in April and now I have 5, so I have in fact gone up 1, and my goal for foundations is to have no more than 5, so I actually am at my goal even though I've gone up 1. I actually bought 3 foundations, so I just must have used up more than I anticipated somehow. I don't really know. You know I used up 1, but I used up foundation, so I've only gone up 1. For concealer, I had 11, and my goal is to have 3 concealers, but I had 11 and now I have 7, so I've actually gone down 4, so I need to use up another 4. So 3 of the ones I used up were like in the face palette, that's why I went through so many. And then for face palettes, I had 14 in April and now I have 9, so I've gone down 5 face palettes. I used up 1 myself, like a full face palette myself. What else did I decluttered some. So 14 down to 9, I've used up 5, or I've gotten rid of, in total, I'm gone down 5. My goal is to have no more than 10, so I actually technically could go up 1, but I don't want to. Like in theory, I only have, I think it's 2 face palettes because the rest are either a full blush or a full highlight, but I count them there. Cream contour. I had 7 in April and now I have 6, so I've actually gone down 1. My goal for cream contour is 2. When I say 2, it's because I want I want to allow myself a kind of a flat pan of like dipping on and then I want a sharp, precise one. And so that's 2, so I need to use up 4 to get down to that goal, but I have gone down 1, so I'm happy. For bronzers, Okay, so for bronzers, blush, highlight and eyeshadow, I start off by including every single pan from a palette, from individual, everything, okay? I just need to... So I had 38 pans of bronzers in my entire collection in April, and now in December I have 30 pans of bronzers, so I have gone down 8. I have used up most of this myself. I've used up 2 full bronzers myself. I don't really know. I've gone down 8 anyway. And then for goals, my goal is just just a number to throw it out there, and I said 15. Now you don't need 15 bronzers. My actual real life goal as it stands is no more bronzers than my little piece of acrylic fits. Let me see if I can take it out just to show you. So I store my bronzers in this thing here, like my individual bronzers, and my actual real life goal is no more than what would fit in here. Like, I don't care. Like, I seem to be able to rotate now what is in here, and that makes me happy, and I want to rotate and finish, but I want no more bronzers than what would fit in here, and that's my real goal. Not 15, but 15 is just to give you a fake number, I suppose. For individual bronzers, like just individual, so I had 30 pans of bronzers in my collection, but I actually have 21 individual bronzers. For cream blush, I own at this point on December 11th, I own 1 cream blush, and it is from this palette here. I have ordered, but I don't know when it's going to get here. The Kosas duos, 2 of them, the cream ones, I ordered 1. It's still not here. I keep checking the tracking, but it's not changed. I ordered it on Black Friday, so I don't know what the story is with that, but I own 1 cream blush as it stands. For cream blush, I want no more than 3 because they take a long time to use and they go off quickly, but I'm still okay there. For powdered blush, in April of 2020, I had 62 pans of blush throughout my collection. In 2019, I had 68. So as of 2020, April, I had 62. Now I have 54 pans of blush in my collection, and I've gone down 8. So I've gone down 8 since April, which I'm really happy about, because it's not that I wanted to get rid of a load of blush, it was that I wanted to love the blush that I had and be able to rotate through it, not just have meh blush and not to feel guilty by the blush that I had. So my goal is 20, so I'd have 34 more left to use. And again, I store my blush in one of those acrylics, and I just wanted to fit in that acrylic, and surprisingly, like, I have a load of space in the acrylic for my blush. So individual blush I said 54 blushes pans, but I actually own 21 of them as individual form, so it doesn't take up hardly much of my acrylic at all. Everything fits in the one drawer, so I'm happy enough. What's after that? Cream highlight. So for cream highlighter, I own 3. How do I own 3? Oh yeah, I own 3. I own a Super Shop Flexitarian and 2 in a face palette, 2 in 2 separate face palettes. So that's the same as April of 2020. There is no change there, and I'm at my goal. I don't need to get any more. I don't need to, like, I'm happy where I'm at. 3 is plenty. For liquid highlight, I had 1. I now have none. I don't own any liquid highlights. I don't anticipate taking in any liquid highlights. I don't have an interest in liquid highlights unless, like, if I were quite skinny and I was skinnier and I was more confident and my arms were out, then I would wear it here. But for now, if I was brave, I would just use a powder or something like that, but there's no need other than that. For powder highlight, did I do that yet? So for powder highlight, I had in April, I had 53 pans of powder highlighter, and now I have 39. I've gone down 14 highlighters since April. So I kind of went for me on I worked hard to get these down. I did declutter a lot. I did use up stuff. And my goal is to have 20, which means I need to use up 19. Again, it's not my goal. It's just, once it fits, it's fine for me. And once I rotate and it fits, it's fine. So I do want to finish things off. Individual highlighters. So I have 39 pans in total, but I have 16 individual highlighters. It is the smallest part of my collection. It doesn't have its own piece of acrylic in my drawer. It's just a divider because it's not big enough. I don't have enough to fill the acrylic. They all just fall over. So I have 16 individual highlighters. For pressed powder, I didn't tell you, I had 12 in April. and now I have 16. So I've actually gone up on individual highlighters by 4. But that's fine, because I'm happy that I'm trying to migrate away from having loads of highlighters and palettes to more singles, but because I end up using face palettes more anyway, personally. Pressed powder, I had 7 and I now have 5, so I've gone down 2. My goal for pressed powder is to own 2, a translucent and a banana, and so that would mean I need to use up 3. For loose powder, I had 4, but now I have 6, so I have gone up 2 since. And my goals for loose powder, what is that? 2, so I need to use up 4. Again, just a translucent and a banana would be the best thing for me. I purchased one, so I finished a loose powder. No, what did I finished a powder, I purchased a replacement because it was a banana shade and I didn't have another banana. And then I received 2 small ones from Elaine, like 2 sample size from Elaine, which is fantastic. What's after that? We have to scroll now, guys. We have to scroll. Okay, powder, highlighter, loose powder. Cream eyeshadow. I had 4 and I still have 4. And my goal is 2. So I need to use up 2. Is that right? Yeah, I need to use up 2. There's no change there. For liquid cream shadows and glitters, like Stila glitters, I have 2. I still have 2. I don't really have a goal there. I don't want to say, ultimately I don't want to have any, but that's not to say I'm not allowed to buy any ever in the future. It's just at the moment I don't wear it. I don't want to have them. So probably 1 or none would be kind of the thing. Pigments and glitters, I had 22 and now I have 16. So I've gone down 6. And my goal is to have around 5, so I need to use up 11. I still think 5 is a good number for me. I'm just going to try and work towards that. Oh, pigments take a long time to use. Next year, next year pigments have to get more of a show. Anytime I put them into a project this year, they fell to the wayside because I was panning way too many eyeshadows. Okay, pigments, glitters. Eyeshadow palettes. This is my worst thing ever. Like, this is the worst one. And you know what? I actually don't feel an ounce of guilt for this. Not even a centimeter. Eyeshadow palettes. I had 45 palettes and now I have 65. I have gone up 20 eyeshadow palettes since April. And I only owned like 29 palettes. When did I own 29 palettes? Let me just see, when did I own 29 palettes? Eyeshadow palettes. I owned 29 eyeshadow palettes in July of 2019. So I have 65 now, but I did divide my singles into things like this. This is now my Cleona palette. And for the purposes of like panning every palette or a future pan those eyeshadows, they have their own palette. So I do have some palettes full of singles. I did purchase a lot as a coping mechanism from 2020, because 2020 was just, I know it's horrendous to everyone, but I moved house, which is fantastic, but aside from that, 2020 was an absolute mental turmoil of a year. So I used, unfortunately, makeup as a coping mechanism, and I don't feel bad about it. I really don't. And I was fortunate enough to receive some from Elaine in our swaps, which is fantastic. I actually have decluttered palettes as well. My goal was not really to have no palettes in my collection. I love eyeshadows. It is my most exciting part of the collection. It is for most people. My goal is to only own palettes that I really like and I don't feel a burden to use. That's kind of the goal, and that they're all getting used. And then my main goal then is I want them to look used. Like, my ideal goal would be having pan in every single eyeshadow palette along with finishing some. I want to have pan in everything. Anyway, eyeshadow pans. So in April I had 567 pans of eyeshadow, and now I have 788 pans of eyeshadow. This figure does include my Super Shocks and my pressed glitters. I don't know why, they just do. And so I've gone up 221 pans of eyeshadow. That's insane. Well, and I have decluttered some and I've used up a bunch, finished a bunch. But again, look, I really don't mind. I always keep an eye on my spreadsheets to see how old the palettes are. So I want to make sure I keep an eye on it. It's not ideal, but they still fit in the 2 drawers that I have. I haven't gone out of there. So that's kind of my goal, is to be able to store them and use them and love them. Anyway, I don't have a goal, and I'm strict with not having a goal. My goal is to be, I don't want to have as much where I start to feel uncomfortable. I judge everything pretty much by emotion. as in like how I feel. So lip balms, I had 4, I still have 4. I do not have a goal here because I just buy a packet of 4 and I use them, and then when I run out I buy more. Lip liner, I still have 13, no change there. My goal is to have about 3, so I need to use up 10. I want a brown, a nude, sorry, a brown, a red, and a room there to have one other one. Liquid lipstick, I had 31 liquid lipsticks and I now have 20, so I've gone down 11. My goal is to have 10, so I need to use 10 more up. My lip drawer is starting to look a lot less in there, thankfully. So yeah, I've gone down 11 liquid lipsticks. I did declutter a lot. I did use up a good few. I feel like a good few I've used up. For lipstick, I had 92 bullet type, just regular lipsticks, and now I have 86, so I have gone down 6. The main culprit of that lipstick number is this. There's 48 lipsticks in here. And I have to say, this is, I know there's a load of product here. It's actually quite small in person, so it doesn't take up a lot of space. This is not me justifying, it is a lot. I'm just letting you know what those figures are coming from it. Because I don't care either way, as long as I'm using them. Anyway, so yes, I went from 92 down to 86. We have gone down 6. My goal for lipsticks is to have about 20, like for now. Like this is where I'm working, like that can change. My figures of goals have changed along the way. More so down than anything. So I need to use up 60 lipsticks, or like get down by another 60 as it stands. Lip gloss, okay, I had 15 lip glosses in April and now I have 11. So I have 11 glosses left. I have used up 4. My goal for lips gloss is about 5, so I need to use up 6. I have used up 41 lip glosses in 3 years. I refused to declutter any lip gloss, and I wore lip gloss when it was not trendy and it was just matte liquid lipsticks are in. So I have used up a lot of lip gloss, and now I'm kind of feeling actually weird about having like a little small amount. How do I have 11 though? It doesn't look like I have 11. 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I have these. These are not stored with the rest of them. Anyway, for setting sprays, I had 2 and now I currently own 1, and I remake my other one. I would like to have no more than 3 setting sprays. I would like 1 kind of like really matte, like really keep your makeup on one, like the Urban Decay one, something like that. I would like 1, allow myself to have 1 of like the Pixie Mist, the orange one, the Wake Up Mist, and then the other one is just me, the one I make out of tea. That's basically it. So what does that mean for my collection, you might question? Yeah, well, just to refresh, I said I had 34 categories. I told you I went up in 8 of those and I went down in 19 of them, and I stayed the same in 7. In April of, this is bad. In April 2020, I had 971 products. Like, let me just show you. To me, this is not 1. To me, this is 4. Because I counted my empties in my inventory. So I have 971 pans or individual things products, and now I have 1,131. That sounds like a lot. It is a lot, but when you actually look, then it doesn't look bad. Like I remember I did my makeup collection video, right? And someone commented under it saying my drawers were so empty, and I was like, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. You get in trouble if you have too much, and now people are getting in trouble for having too little. But look, it's not about that. It's just funny to see that I have 1,131 products. If you were to look at my collection and you looked at my eyeshadow drawers, they definitely look like there's more products in it. But and I suppose my powder section, like my face powders, that looks visibly like there's more, but in every other drawer it looks like there's way less, to the point where I'm actually thinking I'm going to have, not have to, but I may amalgamate them into another drawer together. I don't know, but it's just funny because if you didn't count the numbers and you looked in my drawers, you would think I had less, considering how much I was using in decluttering as well. So it's funny that I actually have, in fact, more. But yet and all, I went down in 19 categories. Is it not amazing that I only went up in 8 and I went down in 19, and it still resulted in me going up from 971 products up to 1,131. I literally think the entire blame here is the eyeshadow, and that's fine by me. I'm happy. Now, I do not want to reach 100 eyeshadow palettes. I don't. Unless, no, I like having magnetic things and making them into their own palettes so that I can use them. So, but yeah, I don't want to get to something like 100, but we're at 65 now. I don't know how the 65 palette fits in 2 drawers though, and not even the full drawer, just the front. This is what I don't get. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I feel like I just stepped on a weighing scales and I'm being stubborn about it in front of people. Being like, oh, I know I eat, okay? Leave me alone. But anyway, but secretly actually being really bothered by it. Okay. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you the next time. Please do subscribe if you haven't. And thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video. See you the next time. Take care. Bye.